Hello, welcome back to the Off-Grid family. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Lenovo Think Plus Bone Conductive Headset. This is the X4. I don't know if it's any different from the other ones. There's lots of different colours and so on and so on. This was just under £20 from AliExpress, and I am going to unbox it for you, and then I'm going to use it for about 2 weeks, and by then I should have learnt everything I need to know about it and be able to give you quite a good review. Before I get on, I'd just like to thank Paul, David and Simon, my patrons. You guys are awesome and I really appreciate you. If you'd like to become a patron and have early access and behind the scenes sort of things, then pop down in the description and follow the link to Patreon. Anyway, let's get on. Okay, so the glare, I'm sure you can't see much, but zoom in. This is the Think Plus Bone Conductive Headset X4 apparently by Lenovo, but who knows. And I got this from AliExpress. It cost me £20. It got here in about 2 weeks, and I'm quite looking forward to this because my other bone conductive headset, the battery doesn't last very long anymore, and I love using it. It's perfect for use when you're like doing woodwork and stuff. But you can have this on at a nice volume, have all your ear defenders in, and still be able to hear it over the sound of the drills, etc. As you may be able to tell, it's had a bit of a ding here, but I don't think that will have caused much of a problem, hopefully. It's quite nice packaging. Doesn't look too cheap. It's not good for fat-handed people like myself, but you know. Come on. Parts inside. Nice and small profile. Now I think it's there's different like touch sensors on the sides, but I'm not 100% sure. This isn't a good sign that this isn't in properly. Nope, that's as in as it goes. So it's not going to be very waterproof, I can tell you that. This bit just, oh, I just turned it on. Just spoke to me. Right. Goodbye. Right, I'm going to get that on charge. So I always try and charge them for as long as possible before use. Right. That's the parts it comes with. Proper expensive stuff, this. Okay, so while that's charging, I will have a look at the instruction booklet. Yeah, so I believe that the buttons on the actual bone conductive bit you can press, and they're like touch sensors, but I'm not 100% sure. I will test them in a bit once it's charged. Back in a little while. Okay, so in the advert it showed that you could slide down here to turn the volume up, slide up to turn it down, etc. And then you had buttons on this side as well. That was all made up. Literally, that is the only button. Okay, so long press to turn on and long press to turn off. Bog standard. You've then got play and pause, which is just a single tap. Same for answering a call, single tap when your phone's ringing. To reject a call, you double tap it. If you quick double tap it, it will go to the next song or next track in your playlist, etc., whatever. And then if you triple tap it, it will go back to the previous. And then if you hold until there's a beep, it will open up Siri or it will open up Google, etc. The only problem is this button you cannot feel. Literally, there is a like an indent there, but it's not. your fingers can't feel it. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually using a soldering iron and just putting a little dot so that I know when I get to it, you know, the dot will be just behind it or something. So when I get to that dot, I can feel it, because you literally can't feel it. And I have genuinely skipped so many things by mistake or hung up on people, etc., etc. So the button isn't the greatest, as in it's not tactile enough. You really can't feel it. So that is something that really does need sorting out on this. But as I say, possibly a little bit of sandpaper just across here, so like a little sanding here, so you know when you've got to it, you can stop, and then, you know, you're on the button. But I do find that I accidentally skip audio tracks when I'm trying to pause it and things like that. But that is the only negative. I'll go through a few specs on this now. Right, this took 2 hours to fully charge, and I'm getting about the right amount of time out of it, which they say is about 8 hours at 70% volume. I'd say that's pretty accurate, actually. I'm getting around 8-9 hours. I don't have it up full blast all the time, but when I'm doing woodwork, I put in some ear defenders and I have these on full blast, and I can use my table saw, which is very, very loud, and I can still hear it. So, you know, this is why I love bone conductive devices. The transmission distance is about 10 meters. That's what they say it is. It's not, you know, there are certain areas in my house which if I leave my phone down somewhere and walk around, that it will just start getting very, very choppy. But that's the same with all Bluetooth speakers and Bluetooth devices. So, you know, 10 meters line of sight easily, but within your house it's a little bit, you know, a little bit spotty and choppy kind of thing. But overall, pretty good. Okay, so I've been wearing these now for, I think it's about 2 weeks, not non-stop obviously. I've had to recharge them about 4 times. What I tend to do is leave them till they're very, very close to just dying completely, and then charge them, and I find that that keeps the batteries at tip-top condition, and they last a lot longer. Negatives first. When listening to certain YouTube channels, if they're like more like podcasty channels, the sound for some reason is very tinny and very sort of, it's like they're recording it in sort of like a very echoey barn. It doesn't always happen, just every so often, and I've tried. I was watching Aussie Man Reviews in one of his videos. It was really, really bad, and I thought, oh, you know, his video quality's gone down a bit. Turned off the headset, listened to it normally, and the sound was fine. So it was the headset. That's very rare, but I don't know why that happens with only certain types of thing. Listening to music, it's really, really good. Listening to audiobooks, very, very good. And watching most of the things I would on YouTube, it seems very good. Just every so often it's a bit tinny, and I don't know why. The button, which is for play and pause, which is basically it's a multi-purpose on and off button. If you press quickly, that is play or pause. If you double press, it does something. If you triple press, and so on, right? I only need it for play and pause. In the actual advert that I watched for this, it was talking about gestures and all this sort of thing, and it made out that you had control by gesturing, like fast forward, volume up, whatever. It's not. It's just one button. And that is basically all the controls you need. You can activate personal assistant, you can play, pause, and answer phone calls, hang up phone calls, etc., all with the same button, and it's fairly straightforward. The bone conductive and the volume is very good. I was using Power Tools the other day, and this is why I like bone conductive, because then I was able to put ear defenders in and on, and I couldn't hear a single thing of the outside world, but these straight through, no problem at all. So even while I was using my table saw, and that's quite loud, I could hear everything that was going on in my audiobook and had no problems at all. So yeah, I really advise something like this if it is something you do regularly, like very noisy jobs where you have to wear ear protection, because then they don't get in the way of any of the ear protection. They're basically completely unintrusive, and you know, you're absolutely fine. But yeah, I'd highly recommend these. Literally £20, well, under £20 to your door. You can't go wrong with that, you know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.